here, but it looks like it could be a crack, but it could be a freshwater line in the iceberg too, where when these icebergs are part of the glacier in Greenland, you'll have cracks and crevasses in the glacier. You have water that pours into the crack and the crevasses, and it actually looks blue in the iceberg. You're kind of getting a little bit of a blue line. And the reason it appears to be blue is because of the way the light bends and impacts inside the ice. So that could be a fresh one. It might not necessarily be where the iceberg cracks next time. That's the one that we saw when we came out of the bay. Yeah, that's right here in San Antonio. The lighthouse, you can actually see the lighthouse. That's where we came from, right back there at our 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to reset my lens. I think I might have a contact. Yeah, isn't that cool? Looks a little different than what we saw yesterday on the point. I thought it was, but it might have been just the lady.
The lady in the restaurant last night said that it was moving closer. Wow, and they're like,
The light was changing. We were
yeah,
getting
that's
down. Like we were being a cloud over there. And over here, this thing was just lit.
yeah.
See the shadow.
Yeah, lots of small babies and as our says that, it just looks like Disneyland. Our son always says, "Any tourists is leave anything."
I can't imagine.
I would love to.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
I want to be behind it.
so there's a great video. When I was doing a little research on
Take a picture. Come over to you, Mike. Mike, coming over to you.
And it rolls on.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
wow.
yeah, so they're up on this thing slow. They didn't realize that.
Oh, God.
Just before it hit water, but you can imagine the surprise. Here, the collision, you go backwards. Put that over the side.
No, that's why it was on the inside. That was on the inside. I need a new phone anyway.
Well, there is, but I don't have a gear and I'm not going to go do it. I'm a certified scuba diver.
Oh, okay.
No, I know.
Not in this cold water.
My brother used to ice dive.
Oh, gosh, no. I hate being cold.
I've been swimming in my pool since I was 10, so I don't mind the cold water.
Oh, no.
Look how beautiful it is.
He didn't job for 30 million water tank. I went to Cancun in 84 Fahrenheit.
That's where the smart people don't get certified.
Oh, look at that. Like, raised around it.
Yeah, because there's a shelf.
Yeah.
There's a huge shelf in there. And I actually noticed because the raised it, and it's just because of the slow. So we just chunk fall off of that hole. It's all there. You could see a hole yesterday. Where it was.
I don't know if it was a hole, if it was just the shadow, the way it was. I don't think it was a hole.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Around the water, sure, yeah. How long do you say this ice was?
You said probably before the, it would have been before the, yeah.
It could be as old as 20. Between 10 and 20.
yeah, like I said, this is probably one of the biggest icebergs that we've had in this area this year. It's been stuck there, like I said, for probably 3-4 days now, I think, in this particular spot. First when we saw it was probably about 6 or 7 miles that way. So that's north for all intents and purposes. There it goes. Woo. I don't know where that came from, but keep watching. Let your video cameras go. Let it roll. Let it roll. That happens. It causes a chain reaction, and it can just go. I've seen these things go to pieces in minutes, in seconds, really. Watch it. Sounds like a gunshot blast, right? Like a shotgun blast, or even almost like a clap of thunder sometimes when it happens. I don't think very much actually happens to that time, unless it's on the other side. But maybe on the other side, yeah. But it might not have been very much. It might have just been a small chunk. If you look on this side there, you see these lines. See these lines that are kind of running horizontally? They're kind of running on different angles. Those are all different water. Those are levels that this iceberg actually sat the water. So right now it's carrying a new water line around this edge, where it is right now. But those are all different water lines. So this iceberg is tipped. You can actually see it's tipped to the right. It's also tipped to the left, right? So they're crossing each other. There's a couple different water lines on this iceberg. As the founders, yes, as the founders, so when it loses ice off one side, it just wants to find a new balance, right? So sometimes, like people ask if you flip over, something this size is probably not going to flip over upside down. Most likely, it takes a lot to quite nice across the table. You can see, there's I think 1, 2, 3 different water lines right there. It's kind of like a fan, right? This one was a lost ice. Question too, and they say, this piece of iceberg ice lasts longer than your glass in a regular ice cube. We don't own an ice cube tray in our house. We haven't made ice cubes in 12 years that we've lived here. We use iceberg ice all summer long. I've got a piece of iceberg in my deep freezer over there. We're on a fire ban. We're not on that fire anymore right now. So we're on a fire ban. Actually, some of you guys are camping. I don't know if you've seen that, but we are on a fire ban here in Newfoundland right now. For the simple fact that most of our resources are actually in Labrador, fighting forest fires in Labrador. So we're not really at a danger of forest fires here, but they don't want to take a chance because all of our resources are actually in Labrador, fighting fires in Labrador. So anyway, so when we're sitting around our fire pit in the summertime, we're having drinks out by the fire pit. We actually use iceberg ice all summer long. So I have a chunk that I collected from an iceberg a few weeks ago, and it's in my freezer. When I want a piece, I just take a knife, break it off, and we use it in our drinks. So does it last any longer in your drink than a regular ice cube? What do you think? Properties of ice are ice. It's going to melt the exact same way, right? A lot of people think it does last a little bit longer for the simple fact that the biggest piece of ice I can fit in the glass is what goes in the glass. So it does generally last a little longer because of that. But no, it's ice. It's just going to melt the same way.
Get a picture of the
That popping or cracking that you just heard
that piece.
is going to happen more and more and more
You got a
as the
picture
summer
of
goes
the
on.
after now that piece
So
is
earlier, yeah, when we came around earlier, this piece was up out of the water, right?
Yeah.
So right now, this iceberg is actually, I actually didn't visibly kind of see it roll, but it actually rolled. It's still connected. That piece of ice is still connected, but something happened to cause that iceberg to go down, right? It didn't go down very far, but it did. So that piece is still connected to the iceberg because it's not moving, it's not floating away, but it actually, some ice came off it somewhere to cause it to roll a little bit and push that piece down in the water, and this corner back here came up. Just a little bit, yeah. So that popping or cracking that we heard is the same thing that if you take an ice cube and put it in your glass at home, and you have you have a warmer liquid, you put an ice cube in your glass, what happens to the ice cube? Cracks, right? Same thing's happening, and it's going to happen more and more and more now as the summer goes on and as the season goes on, because the air is becoming warmer, the water's becoming warmer, and the ice becomes very, very brittle, and these icebergs are going to fall apart very, very quickly in the next couple of weeks. It's hard to believe that this is 1/8 of the ice. It's 7/8 larger than this underneath the water. There's 7 times as much ice underneath the water. And in a couple of weeks' time, there will be nothing left to see of this iceberg. Hard to believe, isn't it? We're going to make our way along, so grab a couple of last pictures. We're going to make our way along. We want to save some time to see if we can find a whale or two for you guys as well. And we're out, like I said, we're offshore about 3.25 miles or so. Grab a little bit of video, grab a little few shots as we're going along, and we're going to make our way towards Sanathic Cape and see if we can find a whale for you guys. So what do you think about the iceberg? Pretty good? That's a good one, eh? Like I said,